everybody, welcome to my channel. That's Clementine. This is Find Your Joy, and I'm Joy. You found me. Welcome to my chaos. I have cats. I don't have a coffee yet, and I've got crochet. That's my life, seriously. So, it is Sunday, the 19th of October, which means it is the 19th day of the 31 Days of Halloween challenge that I pretty much self-imposed on myself. Because, you know, I'm a follower. I've always been a follower, right? It's like, ooh, that looks cool. I want to do that. Ooh, that's a cool haircut. I want to do that. Dorothy Hamill. Hello, it was the 70s. 80s, I had a rat tail. Yes. So now it is, I was about to say it's the 90s, it's the 2000s, it's the 2010s, it's the, holy crap, it is the 2025. Wow. When you say it that way, and you go back through the years, it feels like I'm old, but no, I am not old. Old age is a state of mind, right? So I refuse to grow up. No, that's not it. Maybe a little bit. All right. So as I was saying, I am a follower. So this week on the YouTubes, I have been watching my friends who do either the 100 Days of Halloween challenge, or they're doing Vlogtober, or they're just doing Halloween stuff. I'm watching them, and this week I've seen a trend on what people have been making, and this pattern has actually been on my Pinterest board for quite a while. So, what am I making, you ask? I am making, excuse me, don't do that to my bed. Hey, psh, psh. Sorry. They've got cat scratchers all over the place. But what's more fun? My furniture that I understand. So here is what I'm making. What is this? This is the Wheat Stitch pumpkin pattern. So I am not even a third of the way through this one, but it's an easy pattern once you get going. I started one yesterday, and I'm watching TV and YouTubes, and I'm crocheting along, and then I realized that it was turning into, let's see, kind of a odd pentagon shape. It was not a trapezoid this time. It was kind of close to a trapezoid. They are in a crazy mood today. I don't know what it is. But I was somehow losing stitches, so it was getting shorter and shorter in the middle. So I guess it kind of was a trapezoid. I don't know. I pulled it out right away and said, oh, that wasn't right. So I had to go back and frog it and pay attention. I actually started from the beginning, and I had to count, because I don't know if you notice when I do my hyperlapses, especially like if I'm doing an amigurumi, I count my stitches out loud, because I lose track easily of where I am. I mean, I can be counting, you know, to 4. And if something looks good on TV, or if a cat jumps in and does something weird, I'm like, 1, 2, where was I? And then you have to go back and 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's where I was. But yeah, so I had to pay very close attention to where I was putting mostly the beginning stitches and the second stitch of the wheat stitch, the second part of it. I think I wasn't going over far enough. I was going too far over. I don't know. But I got it now. So my goal today is to get this done rather quickly because I, sat here all day yesterday and didn't go out and do deliveries. Well, I need to go out and do some deliveries today. But I'm trying to decide if I just want to go ahead and take this in the car where I won't finish it and then I won't get the video filmed, or if I want to get in here, get this done, and then go out and do deliveries. I do deliveries more in the afternoons and evenings anyway, so I think that is what I'm going to do. See, and like talking, look at that, but only this one area right here. Let me stop, pull this out. Hey, we don't do that here. Stop it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, okay. I went too far on that one. So, let me do this part here. Oh, hi. What are you guys doing, huh? Silhouette. You trying to be on the YouTube today? You trying to be YouTube famous? Well, it is that time of the year for black kitties to shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine. Did y'all see that footage? I'm not sure what city it was in, but during those, the peaceful No Kings protest, they were singing This Little Light of Mine. I know. They were expecting all the violence and hateful people to come out, but that's just them. They're just self-projecting. So, whatever. I'm not going to politics on here. I am going to crochet. So, I'm going to go ahead and keep going on this. And I'll be back later. And we'll check in with it. I am now officially a third of the way done. No, not quite. Once I do this next row. Because it's 3 sets of the wheat stitch, and the wheat stitch is 2 rows. So yep, that's where I am. So I'll be back. Okay, so let's talk about me being a am I a follower? I'm more easily influenced. I think that's the way to do it, because infomercials always got me. I had the Ron Popeil rotisserie, set it and forget it. Yeah, I had that in the 90s. I had the pasta maker. Yeah, I am a sucker. Marketing people, I am their target. And they usually win. But now that it's come to crochet time, let me tell you. So my first project last year was the baby blanket. And that was just because I wanted to make something, for Molly. But then I was listening to podcasts and TikTok lives, and I was listening to one, and they started talking about Hexicardis, and someone had mentioned Passionate Kelsey's vlog, and they talked about how simple it was. And y'all, the Hexicardi was my second project because I was listening to them on live talk about doing a Hexicardi, and do they wear it into the do they take it when they go into Joann's, because that was no. Before closing, BC. It was Joann's BC, RIP. But I had better make sure I am counting right here. So yeah, so now, you know, Pinterest, pen. I don't always make everything that I pen, but they're there. And a lot of times when I will see somebody else doing something, I will go back and it is already on my Pinterest board. So it's when I see the project either in progress or done, or someone talking about it and saying how much they loved it, or I am a sucker. Yep. You know, P.T. Barnum, there's one born every minute. So that is basically my crochet. Yeah, it's how I end up with 47,000. Maybe I'm exaggerating. But, you know, a lot of whips. Because I get so excited because I hear others talking about it. And I get started on it. And then something else catches my attention. So not only am I easily influenced, I am easily distracted. In case you can't tell. I think I have too many stitches on here. Let me count, because obviously I was talking and crocheting at the same time. And that is not what I do well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh yeah, I went too many. So I think I know exactly where I did it. So let me not talk and let me crochet. All right, got my coffee. I am 2/3 of the way done with my pumpkin. So let me tell you about the yarn that I am using right now. So this is the Instaknit, the Lion brand Instaknit that I got on clearance at Walmart up in Illinois. And it is a Wool Ease Thick and Quick yarn. I just cut off the loop-de-loop parts that they put on there for casting on, because I'm not knitting and I don't need those loops. So I just cut those off. But it is 7.9 ounces of yarn, 165 yards in this super bulky 6 weight. And it does call for a 9mm hook for this, but I'm using an 8 because I don't think I have a 9 without getting out my interchangeable set. So I am going to continue on. I do like, you know what I like about this bulky fuzzy, because it's kind of fuzzy. Can you see the halo? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of halo. But it's like you're working with it and it's like, huh, is that yarn or cat hair? I can't tell. Bonus. Or is that purple hair mine? Okay, that one kind of. But I bet if I was using the purple one, like when I made my big Luna bat, you couldn't tell if it was mine or Luna. All right, well, I have got just a few more rows. Well, let's see, I've got 3, 6, I've got about 18 rows to go. So I am going to go ahead and keep working on this, and then I'll come back and finish it off. I had something else I was going to talk about today. Yeah, it's not there right now. I'm sure it'll come back. So if it does, maybe I'll be back sooner than later. Either way, I'm going to be back right now. All right, I keep looking down at my ball, and this is what's left. I thought I was gonna have to play Yarn Chicken, but I only have 2 rows left and then the seam. So I think we're good if on the yarn. I do have another skein if not, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be enough. So I just need to finish 2 more rows. Okay, I just did the last row, so now I need to connect them. And I just missed an incoming video chat with my babies, so I am going to call them back real quick while I finish this, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, I got a little Gigi time in. So y'all, my grandbaby is 13 months old, and oh my goodness, she has my heart right here. Yes. But while I was talking to them, I went ahead and seamed up the pumpkin, and it's just a slip stitch into back loops of both rows. And then I went ahead and put the one end of it together, you know, zip, zip, pulled it tight. And y'all, this can make a nice hat. Oh no, that's way too big. Now I'm definitely the kid from Fat Albert. All right, so, oh yeah, pumpkin head. Okay, then that static. All right, so now it is time to stuff our pumpkin, and I've got my polyfill here. Try and set it, and I'm just gonna start putting it in here. This is the small one, but since it's made with the bulky, it's a lot bigger than it would be if you, say, used a cotton or a worsted weight. And she does show, so let's talk about the pattern real quick. This is a pattern by Brianna K Designs, and she has a written version and a video tutorial, and it is a trio of 3 sizes of pumpkins. So and actually that is going to show all right, I think that's going to be good. She does show in the video where she puts the filling, the stuffing, like inside of a some sort of little bag so that it doesn't show through or poke through. You could probably use like a like an old nylon. I don't think I have nylons anymore. I'm wondering if I have anything that would work, because this is kind of a, since it's bulky, it's a little bit of a bigger stitch, but I'm going to be good. I'm going to leave it as is. But now I'm thinking, do I have something that could stretch and fill out and put in there? Trying to think if I do have any old pantyhose. They would be old, and I don't feel like going and digging for them. So what I'm going to do is just go with what I got. All right, so I am now at the point where I need to take, all right, look, I had this much yarn left over, so I knew I wasn't really doing too bad of Yarn Chicken. So I'm going to cut off a bit here so that I can sew the top together. And actually, I don't know if this, I didn't read all the way or watch all the way to the end of the video because I'm bad at that. But I am just going to tie I'm literally tying this yarn on, and then I'm gonna put a needle on here and just go through each row. So I think you like skip 2 stitches and go through the row, and going to cinch it tight. And then at this point, I think after that she puts in like a branch or a cinnamon stick. Y'all, cinnamon sticks are nice, but to me that's an overwhelming smell. I cannot, right now I can't stand going into like Michael's or a place that has all the Christmas decorations, because they've got all the cinnamon brooms and everything is very cinnamony. I will tell you, this bulky yarn, I have yarn in my mouth, I have it in my eyes, it's getting everywhere. I mean, normally it's cat hair or my hair. Did you hear my needle hit the ground? Did you see where it bounced to? Oh, right there. Yay. Be right back. Okay. So, all right, let's do this. I mean, I need more fiber in my life, but not that way. All right. Let's see if I can thread this through this needle, because this is very twisty and hold on. All right, I got the needle threaded, and now I'm just going to go through the loops around the top here. Now, having learned my lesson from doing that hat the other day where my thread got tangled in there and broke before I could cinch it shut, I am cinching as I go. So putting it through and cinching. Oop. I'm not at a good angle for this right here. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. And so I am not going to, what was I saying before? I am not going to put a cinnamon stick in here. I don't know if I'm going to get a branch. I think what I might do is the leaves and vines that I made for my pumpkin coaster. Let's see. Is it within reach here? I kind of piled all of my projects in front of me because I had them on my bed. And here they are. All right, so pumpkin is, of course, oh, hello, the very bottom. All right, so I might make a couple of leaves and vines to put on this, but I think I will also do them. I don't have a bulky green, so, but I think I will do them in just the in the cotton green. Yeah, because oh, I have this velvety green. Where do I have this green? So I will have to, I think that will make a good I like that green, and it's a little fluffier than the cotton. So now I've got fluff and yarn everywhere, and I've got a couple more rounds to get this through. Not rounds, but rows. Uh-oh. Oh, this was a, no, because I did have a factory knot, but not here. My brain was like, oh, knot, it must be that factory knot. It's not. Okay. Yeah, I got fiber everywhere, whether it's polyfill or this yarn. All right, so this is actually not my first one that I made. I did make a couple of other pumpkins earlier in the month that I was kind of saving as a backup, but I've determined that the stuff that I made in advance, I don't really want to do as a video on its own, because it's like, I thought I would make this, you know, without actually going through any of the process on video. So let me show you those pumpkins. I've got them sitting right here in front of me. Almost to the end here. All right. And then when I get to the last one, I pull it as tight as it will go, but since it's such a big project here, it doesn't quite cinch all the way. It leaves a little bit of an opening there. So, oops, let me make sure that that end is in. Okay, I'll stuff that in. I'm gonna go ahead and just go in one side, across, pull it tight. And then kind of go over next to it. That one is still not tucked in. Go in, go across, pull it tight. I just want to cover up close up that hole all the way. And I just go back and forth a few times. And then when I come out the other side, I go in right next to it instead of going across. So it's all internal crossing here. All right. And then one more should do it. All right, so the hole is all closed up. Then I'm gonna go just do like a little knot here, just to make sure it's not gonna come loose. Do that a couple times. And then I will take my needle, go back in. Uh-oh. Oh, I lost it. I went too deep. That's what, nope, don't. Hold on, let me pull it back out. Stop. All right, so I'm not gonna let go of it until it comes all the way through. Okay, there it is. There it is. All right, pull it. All right. Whew. All right. So I'm gonna pull it tight. Go back in. Go back to the other side, and I'm gonna do this a few times, pulling it tight so that it kind of gives it that pumpkin, you know, that smushy. Oh, that's looking fabulous. All right, let me do one more time. And then I think, let's see, which end do I want to be the bottom and which end do I want to be the top? I think this end is going to be the bottom. It's just not as neat and pretty. So I'll do one more time of going through and tightening it down. And then I'm going to tie it off on that side. Yes. Okay. Alrighty. So this one is the biggest one I made. Even though this was still the small pattern, it was the biggest pumpkin I've made. And now let's go ahead and tie that again. I meant to tie, I didn't mean to tie it as early as I did the first time, because I forgot I needed to smoosh it down. And I actually don't know how she ends the pattern. This is just me freehanding and doing my own thing, because, you know, why not? All right, and then I'll put the needle in, pull it out on the other side, somewhere in the middle, somewhere on the side, anywhere, because right now what I'm going to do is pull it and cut it, and then the end will go right back inside. All right, then I kind of want to manipulate it a little, make sure it's pretty round. And then I will see if I can, where did I have this green? Let me see if I can find this real quick. Oh, apparently it started recording without me, but I found it. It was in the yarn wall hidden behind the shower curtain back there. So this is, I think this is a Temu, just a velvet yarn. So I'm going to do some leaves and spirals with this. And then I will come back on and attach it. And show you my other pumpkins that I've made, because I said something about them, but I don't think I pulled them out earlier, did I? And all right, I see them. I'll be back. All right, here is one leaf. With the curlicue, so put that over here with the pumpkin, and I think I'm going to do one more. And this leaf and curlicue pattern is on the Caffeinated Snail. I will also link it. It was in yesterday's coaster video, but yeah, I will link it below. But it starts with the magic ring and six single crochets, but instead of working in the round, you chain one and go back the other way and then make the leaves in the singles here. So, and it's so weird to go from this bulky thick to this slippery. This stuff is slippery and small. So now I've gone to a smaller hook and a slippery yarn, and it just feels very weird. All right, well, let me close up this magic circle. I will finish making, I think I'm just going to do 2 leaves, and then in the original pattern for the vines, she just does 1 curly vine. I am doing 2 on each leaf, so it gives it a little more decoration here. So I will finish this up and I will be right back. All right, I decided to create a stem as well, so I'm going to pull this through. All right, and let's put the leaves on. I've got 2 sets of these, and I've already put one on the pumpkin. So what I actually did, because I left probably too long of a tail, is I just went in here with a with my hook and grabbed that long tail, pulled it through a stitch, and then the other tail, and I just tied them together. I've got this at the wrong angle for y'all to see. It's either that or cut my head off. Off with her head. Oh, no. There we go. I'll just scoot back. And then tie this a couple times. This isn't going to be played with by anyone, so it does not have to be super perfect. And then what I did with the other one is I just took, because this stuff is so silky, soft, and smooth, that I just pushed it right in, tucked it in to the pumpkin. Poof, like that. All right, and now let's go ahead and still got my needle here. I don't need this on here because I just kept that on there so I wouldn't lose my needle. So let me thread this tail on, pull that off. And y'all, this is pretty cheap velvet yarn. Like I said, it's from Temu, so it does shed quite a bit. So I am just going to that's why I like these needles with the curved tips. You can just put it in and it kind of curves up, so you can go back up into your project. Just have to make sure I'm close enough to where I want the stem to be. Oh, wait, I meant to stuff this before I get too far. I'm actually just going to stuff it with some yarn, so let me do that real quick, because I emptied out my polyfill bag, so I'd have to go and refill it. But I've got, you know what, look, this is the part that I cut off. Let's see if I can stuff that in there. This was the loop-de-loops for the easy knit part of the sweater, so you could just cast on that way. So let's see if we can, just gonna stuff that right up in there. See how much I can stuff in. Oh, actually, this is perfect. Okay. And shouldn't have started in the middle, but that's okay because I'm gonna cut these off. Make sure I don't have any of the green in there. All right, put those back in our little stuffing cup. That's where I put all of my scrap ends, just the ends. If they're big enough for something else, I roll them up into a little ball, and I've got another little container over there because one day I'll have enough to make a scrappy project. All right, so now I'm just going to sew this on, finish that. And I love this velvet green with this orange. It's a great combo. It's when I first held up the yarn, I'm like, oh my God, that's way neon. I don't know if that'll work. But when I held it against the pumpkin, I knew that it was a good combination. All right, so just going around the stem here and attaching it all the way around. All right. The yarn came out of my needle. I think I need to do at least one or two more. So let me rethread it. And need to make sure I'm actually going through the pumpkin and not just sewing it to itself here. And it's kind of thick where I'm stitching it, because that's where I did all the circles crossing across so that we actually closed the little pucker hole. All right, I think one more. Yep. And then I'll do a little knot right here. Don't pull out. It's so slippery. All right, and now down through the middle. Pull it out the side and tuck that little bit in. And guys, this pumpkin, it doesn't want to go in. Come on, get in the hole. No. All right. All right, so that is today's pumpkin, but like I said, this isn't, there's lots of little green specks from when it's shed, but that's not my first pumpkin. So let's show, actually, I'm going to put the needle away right now before I drop it, lose it, because when you got cats, you really don't want any, or, you know, bare feet, you don't want needles just hanging out wherever. All right, so let me put this back down here, and I'll remember to refill it later. All right, so those are put away. Those are put away. Put the yarns away. That's almost going to be enough to put a scrappy ball together, but right now it's going on the shelf. Well, actually, I have another skein of this one, so I'm going to put those in the same bag. But let me show you my other pumpkins. The first two pumpkins that I did, I just used the half double in the back loops where you make a flat panel and you sew them together, and then you use your yarn to make the wedges. So this was my first one. It's my first attempt at the pumpkin, and that's where I got the idea. I'm like, ooh, I can make a stem. So that was my first one, and this one I believe is Bitty Stripes yarn. And then the next one isn't done, and I actually showed it the other day when I made my orange hat, because the little pumpkin, or the little ghost, is holding a pumpkin. So this one I still need to make a stem, and maybe I'll make some leaves for this one as well. But then last night I actually made my first wheat stitch pumpkin, and I used Red Heart Super Saver in the I will put the name here. It's either Mexicali or Mexicana. I think it's Mexicana. But look at the rainbow pumpkin in the wheat stitch, y'all. And I also made some leaves and curly cues up here for that one. I absolutely love it. This one's going to work tomorrow and going on the front desk with all of our other little toys and goodies that we have. And then, of course, today's pumpkin. It's so soft and squishy. I think I'm going to take this one down to Mom's house so she can use it as part of her decoration if she wants it. If not, I'll bring it back. But there we go. So this is Pumpkin Day, y'all. The 19th day of the 31 Days of Halloween Challenge. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a good time making these pumpkins. It was fun. And now I got to figure out what to do for the rest of the week, because I have a busy week coming up. I've got Zumba 2 nights, and then I'm volunteering. We've got Mrs. Doubtfire touring through, so I'm volunteering at the theater 2 nights for that. So I need to be, I've got my Hexicardia, and actually I got to the point of the first panel where I think I am ready to go ahead, and when I get to the end of this row right here, I am going to seam the sleeves together, and then I can start on the second panel. So I've got that project going. And then this morning I was watching a video because this I have been freehanding, so I was watching somebody actually make a spiral sweater and how they put it together. So I've got this one already squared off. So what I need to do, I think, next is to make the shoulder panels right here, and then I need to finish. Let me see, how far am I on this other. So my second panel, actually I need to finish my second panel, because it isn't, I've got it all stitched together with stitch markers. So yeah, I need to finish this one. Looks like maybe 4 or 5 more rounds on this one. Shoulder seams, and then sleeves and the collar. And then we'll determine if we want to put ribbing on the bottom. I am going to do ribbing on the sleeves. So I've got those two projects, Sidar. So this week might not be little projects, because it's the little projects that are keeping me from making the bigger projects. And then of course I had another thing pop into my head today that I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. And actually I did think I want to do a Halloween cup holder. This one is a quick, so this could be a one-day project. So you guys, I checked today and I was at, I've already forgotten because you know I've slept since then. So let's look on my old phone and see how many followers. You guys, am I at 200 yet? And then can sign into your YouTube. No, I don't want to connect to my TV. Thank you. That one's already connected to my TV. So, view channel, 194. Yay! I'm almost at 200. All right. Y'all, I need to go out and do some deliveries today. So I am going to go ahead and sign off of here and tell you that I hope you had fun hanging out with me. I hope you have a great week coming up, because you got to make it a great week, right? Just like you got to go out and have a great day, make it a great day and find your joy. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.